Hey guys, so here's your stuff for Friday the 22nd. Warm-up's gonna be 2 rounds through, just regular jumping jacks. You're doing 30. Wall walks are the ones where you walk yourself from chest to the floor. And then you're gonna walk as far up the wall as you can. So you're gonna do a push-up to start. You're gonna kind of get your legs up the wall, and then you're gonna inch in your hands. Walking all the way back out, and then laying down. Okay? So that's the rep finishes on the ground. So I go back up again. Not everyone's gonna be able to make it to the wall. Biggest thing is that you just want to keep your body straight. Inch in, small little steps. Until it kind of feels scary enough and you kind of can't get any further. Full rep is nose to the wall, nose and toes to the wall. But don't worry if you're not getting all the way up, just kind of hold for a second as far as you can get. Yeah, elbow to hand planks. So these ones here where you're gonna go on your forearms in a plank. Okay, so down. So when you end up on your both hands, that's 1. Back down to the elbows. Both hands is 2. So on. Okay, so for the strength, we're gonna do, so it's 12 sets every 90 seconds. You're gonna do, the first set's gonna be power snatches. So obviously you're pretty fresh there. Then you're gonna do 3 reps. At 1.5 minutes, you're just gonna do 8 burpees. You're not doing both in the same set. So it's, you kind of get you kind of raise the heart rate, and then you get a bit of rest, right? So it might take about 45 seconds to do this stuff. Yeah, so you're alternating with power snatches, whichever version you're gonna do. Some people with a bar, some people with a PVC, with a dumbbell, kettlebell. But everyone's gonna do 8 burpees. And you don't necessarily have to sprint those burpees, you just start them at that 1.5 minutes. And it might take, you're just trying to sort of do them and then kind of get the heart rate back down to be able to lift again, right? So it's kind of like a medium intensity the whole time. After a few sets of this, heart rate won't get all the way down, right? So this is kind of how we're going to be not, obviously with not everyone having a lot of weight and being able to go like kind of real hard on the strength side of things, we can also just tire ourselves out a little bit, and then the weights won't get as heavy anyway, right? So yeah, so power snatches, so you get your wide grip, that's gonna be the one from the ground, landing in a quarter squat, okay? So just kind of, if you wanna kind of do a little refresher and a little snatch warm up, we'll do kind of that. We're gonna warm up and kind of hit our positions quickly, and then we'll, even if you have a dumbbell, you can do this with me, and then you can kind of switch to whichever piece of equipment you got. If you got a broomstick, get into that power position, so a little bit of knee bend, chest is upright, right? Arms are straight, bar should be in that little hip crease there, okay? And then we're gonna just extend and shrug our shoulders, right? So it's gonna be down and up, and shrug. What I don't want to do in this one is kind of go kind of back and forth. I don't want to kind of throw that bar out forward. I'm trying to think about a vertical path, right? So it's down and up and shrug. Okay, and then we're going to do that with a high pull. Elbows are going to be back and outside, and the bar is trying to stay close as I can to myself. So just lead with that, down and up, and then I'm going to go bar close. Right? So I really want to extend and finish before I pull, okay? And then we're going to work on, from here, kind of at that high point that I pulled to, I'm going to keep that head out of the way until the bar passes my head, and then I'm going to punch through and land in a little quarter squat. So it's going to be okay, and I always want to land shoulder width, even especially with power snatches. When you see these getting heavier, people start to kind of do these like wide things. What we're trying to get is that each one lands the exact same. Feet, hip width to start, shoulder width to land, reset them every rep, over and over and over the exact same way. So we're going to start up here, landing quarter squat, reset, Okay, so when we put that together from power position, we're going to be going okay, and then we just got to add in from the ground. So we got to kind of get a deadlift, be patient enough to hit power position on the way. So what I mean is if I get here and then I'm so fast on the ground, usually what happens is I kind of jump on the bars about here, right? And then the bar ends up out there. So patience and kind of waiting to hit the right positions is the biggest thing here. So if I kind of am slow, keep my back angle the same to the knee, then I bring my chest up, and then I get to that power position, then the power's going in the right direction. Okay, so let's hit those positions. So we're going to start with the shins, butt and shoulders are going to rise together. Haven't brought the chest up yet. Now I'm going to start bringing the chest up, but I'm keeping the bar close. And then I'm getting up to power position. And then now is when I jump and shrug and land, right? So when I put that in real time, it's slow. So this is actually real time. So slow, chest up, and fast, right? So it looks a lot slower than you think off the ground. Yeah, and then we're also going to do these touch and go. So we're going to work on bringing the bar down. So when I'm up here, I'm getting my head out of the way, right? I'm trying to kind of sort of reverse that path that I went on the way up. So I'm going to get my head out of the way, my elbows under the bar for just a little bit, just to kind of keep the path. And then I'm going to turn those elbows over, catch it in my kind of hip crease, right? Once I feel this bar hit my body here, I don't want to kind of keep my knees there and have the bar go that way, because that would make the bar go out and around. Once I get here, once I feel this, I'm going to pull those knees back and out of the way so that the bar can go down straight. When I reset, close. Okay, so you're going to do 3 reps at the start, and then every other set you're doing snatches, every other set you're doing burpees. Okay, so you're going to do 3 touch and go with those. Like I said, if you have weights, maybe you can kind of add as you go, but kind of watch, because it's a little bit harder on the heart rate than normal, just if it was just straight snatches, especially with those burpees. Especially if burpees are a struggle for you, you might be taking a lot of the time to do those burpees, and then you're kind of gassed when you do those snatches. So it might be a bit more of a skill snatch session for you. But you can add as you go, but you should still be able to get 3 touch and go, okay? And then once you kind of hit that weight that's kind of like borderline where it's starting to fall apart, you're starting to kind of push it up like that, you're starting to kind of turn, having this wide footwork and kind of not nice looking reps, that's when you bring the weight back a little bit, and I would say find a weight that's kind of challenging, but you can kind of hold on to, do the same form, but at least it's tough for the rest, right? There's no point in just keep going with a weight that's pulling your form out of position. It's not helping, okay? So it'll be hard enough, especially when you get tired, you'll start pulling differently. Yeah, so if you're going to use a dumbbell, we've got sort of 5 reps written there. You can, again, you got to adjust. Like I said, with a dumbbell, you can't always change your weight when it's easy, so we're going to change your reps. So if you have to do 5 on the right and 5 on the left, and that takes about sort of 30-45 seconds, and your kind of heart rate's high, great. If your heart rate's still super low at the end of that, maybe you got to do 7 reps, 7 reps right, 7 reps left. So it's the same idea when I do a power snatch. It's from the ground, between my legs, I'm going to try and get my butt down. I'm going to slow start, I'm going to extend and shrug, I'm going to pull close like I'm zipping on my jacket, and then I'm going to lay low. Okay, so I don't want to swing it out and around. So even if this thing is light for me, I don't want to do this. See how that kind of made my back follow, right? It gets out here, all of a sudden it gets really heavy. So I need to work on keeping it pretty close to myself, get myself back in the right center. Right, that third one pulled me down. Okay, so try to work on that as you go as well. Kettlebell snatch, same idea. Might be a little harder, may not be able to go as many reps as if with a dumbbell, but depending on your weight, you gotta play with it. You're gonna always, when we do a kettlebell snatch, the kettlebell has to turn before, right? I gotta kind of get myself to come back, get the shoulder to come back, and that turn or rotation of the kettlebell is around here, sort of head height. And then I'm pushing up, right? I don't want it to swing up and then just swing and then just kind of flop down and hit me in the back of the wrist here. So. Okay, so it's hard to see it and you might have to slow that down a little bit. But what I'm trying to do is keep it close, shrug back, pull back with my shoulder, start that rotation, right? So I'm on my elbows back now, and then I'm gonna push up, right? And there's gonna be a second here where that thing is not, it's not coming down on you, it just kind of stopped there for a second, and that's where I kind of punch through, right? Yeah, so try not to hit your wrist too much. Maybe if you struggle with that one and you're sticking to a kettlebell, that's great. Just make sure that, you know, as you get tired, it doesn't start turning into those other ones where you're just kind of swinging it up and hammering the wrist. Okay? Yeah, so a little different strength. For the WOD, what we're doing is 2 sprints. Okay, so we've been doing a bunch of not so sprint workouts. I guess yesterday's was, but the one before that was, you know, a long grind. Today, you're trying to go fast, right? So we got 6 minutes on, 2 minutes rest, and then 6 minutes. Okay, so first 6-minute AMRAP, burpees. So you're gonna just do regular chest to the ground, jump and clap burpees any way you have to. Chest touches the floor, get off the ground, right? Step down, jump down, lay down. Right, okay, so they should be quick because it's only 5. And then you're gonna do weighted step-ups, okay? So you're gonna hold a piece of equipment. For most people, it's a kettlebell, any way you want. And you're gonna step up on something. Usually in the gym, we're using a box. You can use your stairs, you can use your deck, you can use a solid chair. And you can hold this as however you want. So you can hold it at the side here. You can alternate legs on your step-ups. But you can hold on to this in one side if you want. Maybe next round you switch. You can put it on your shoulder. You can hold it in front of you. You can put it on your back. You can kind of, if you get sick of holding it one way, you can hold it another way. Right? So there's no right or wrong way to hold it. Just be careful that you don't drop it on yourself. But yeah, it's only 8, so that means it's quick. Also might mean that you can kind of hold it in you know, at your side, which is kind of probably the quickest way to get started. And then the next way you can switch. And then if just to get it over onto my back is a couple seconds of time wasted if I'm really trying to sprint, so you might not want to do that. Usually 24-inch box is RX for guys and 20-inch box would be RX for girls. I know not everyone has those heights of stuff exactly, but try to get close to those if you want. Yeah, so then the next, so you're getting as many rounds as possible for the first 6 minutes. Then we're gonna take 2 minutes off, see how much we recover in 2 minutes. And then we're gonna do same kind of idea, 5 burpees again. And then you're gonna do shoulder overhead. So you're gonna do 16 shoulder overhead. And you're just gonna, if you're using a dumbbell or a kettlebell, you're gonna split it up half and half, 8 and 8. If you're using a barbell, you gotta make sure it's pretty light, but I'll show you. So if I've got a dumbbell, I'm doing that shoulder overhead. Right, so make sure I use my legs, don't kind of just restrict these. Right, you could if it's super light, but you know, this is a lightweight for me. I would really burn out quick if I kind of didn't use my legs. So I'm really gonna drive, right? Back of the dumbbell should be on the shoulder. Head through at the top so that I got a straight line from my hand down to my ankles and not leaving it out forward. Okay? Gotta kettlebell, right? Same idea. So it should be a straight line down. Okay. If I've got a bar, I want to get those elbows not way up there, but in front of the bar, you know, just kind of forward and down. Hands are just outside the shoulders, and I'm doing I should be able to do a push press, right? So it's shoulder overhead. There should be a quick and fast, right? 16 reps is a lot if you're kind of making it too heavy. So make it a weight that you think you can kind of do. You know, maybe you could do one set of 16 and then the next round it's like 8 and 8 or something like that, and you're kind of hanging on. You don't want to be doing like 2 or 3 reps and dropping and 2 or 3 reps and dropping. Okay? So maybe like a 95, 65 RX would be kind of right for people that are a bit seasoned. The point of it is supposed to actually, lighter is going to make it worse. It means you're going to do more rounds. If you make this too heavy and you do 3 and you stand there and you look at it for a while and then you do 3, right? Heart rate's dropping, shoulders are just getting too cooked and you can't go. This WOD is supposed to be fast. So this WOD would scare the hell out of me if it was really light. It means I gotta go really fast. If it was heavy and I was allowed to do 3 reps and drop it, that would almost feel like kind of I'm allowed to break. But if it was 95 pounds, I wouldn't be allowed to break very much. Yeah, okay, so keep it a sprint, lighter the better. To a point, try not to go too heavy that you're kind of losing the sprint stuff. Okay, yeah. So 2 separate scores. Have fun, guys.